Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Keegan, and welcome back to the channel and to round one, two, three. They're in round 4 of the Supercoach Diaries. My name is Keegan, and this is my story through Supercoach for the season. As always, make sure to like this video, subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos on this channel. And let's talk about last week. I actually ended up having a pretty good week. 2,230, which put me in the top 9%, which is pretty good. And that puts me at a season rank of 11,819. So I've actually gone up a rank. And when I first saw that score, I wasn't so sure about it. I was like, oh, it's not amazing. 2,230 is not amazing. But it wasn't awful. But then I saw that I went up in rank, meaning a lot of people must have had worse rounds than me. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. As you can see, I'm in 4 leagues and I won 3 of them. So my week mustn't have been too bad. And as you can also see, is I've made only 1 trade this week. I don't want to go overboard with trades, and I will talk you through them in a minute. But I'm pretty happy with the way the week went. And I'm interested to see how I head into next week. So without any further ado, let me show you the team, and I'll talk you through how my team scored, who scored well, and who I traded. So here is my team. So as you can see, a pretty solid effort across the board. My backline, even though I taught my backline up, they actually had a pretty poor week. So I actually didn't have Murray on the field, so he would have been the second highest scorer on my backline if I had him on the field. I actually ended up having Finlayson, who, as you'll see now, is in the midfield. But I'll talk you through that in a minute. So my backline, Laird had a really good game. Lloyd was okay, that's fine. McGovern's a bit of a worry. He's not doing what I would want him to do, which is taking a lot of intercept marks and giving it off with effective disposal. He's sort of, I don't know, I'm slightly concerned, you would say. I'm not going to panic just yet. There's no point in getting rid of him now. If I get rid of him now, I've just lost out on money. I'm going to back McGovern in to turn his form around and hopefully start trending his price upwards. Bonner was, again, not great, but he did make me money, so I'm not too concerned. It makes me a bit more money, than I can happily move him on and not worry. Doty had another good round, and as I said before, Murray had a really good game. Too bad he was on the bench for me. I also had Norton, and I have Finlayson now in the midfield. And I traded in Ed Richards. So since I've got Ed Richards here, I might as well tell you what I did. So what I've done is this. If you look at my midfield, I actually don't have Brayshaw anymore. He had 3 really poor weeks where he sort of, and he seemed to be getting worse. So I was just sort of like, well, I can't be dealing with that, especially as a higher priced rookie. So what I did is I moved Finlayson from the back line into the midfield. And then what I did is I traded Brayshaw over to Ed Richards, as you can see here, who has had 2 really good weeks. And he's going to hopefully have a 3rd good week. And that's going to mean his price is going to rise, which is exactly what you want. That was my 1 trade this week. Brayshaw out, Richards in. And yeah, so if you look to the midfield, Mitchell had an absolutely stellar week. He was actually my captain, so I think I got lucky there. 149 as a captain is pretty good. Martin had a quiet week by his standards with 93, and I reckon a lot of people would have had him as captain. So that's probably where I made a few places up there. Fife went massive with 160, which was great to see for my Supercoach team. Not so great for me as a Sun supporter because he absolutely ripped us to shreds, but I was pretty happy with Fife going big for Supercoach reasons. Cripps was pretty below average. He had a pretty poor game against Collingwood. I remember I had the day off on Friday and I sat there and watched that game. And yeah, it wasn't pretty. Carlton were pretty poor and Cripps really should have done better. Caniglio again still kicking off, which I'm sort of still happy with my choice to get rid of Shuey for Caniglio. I'm still going to stick with that. I think that's a pretty good move still. Kelly, still alright as a rookie. 90's great. Finlayson, who wasn't actually there. I actually had Brayshaw on the field and he didn't go very well, let's just say that. And Holman went 82, which is still a very good score. Can't complain about that for a rookie. Fox is one I'm going to look to trade in the next week or 2. I don't think he's going to get back into that Sydney team. But he's 232, so he's got a bit of cash behind him, so I can use my remaining salary of 137,000 and I can probably trade him up. I might have to downgrade maybe 1 more rookie when they make a bit more money, and then I'll have enough money to turn Robbie Fox into someone else. Banfield was okay with 69. I probably should have started him. and Barry was pretty average with 39, but he still gets a game for Port, and I can't really complain about that. Martin went huge in the midfield. He got 154, which was great to see. Gawn still went pretty well too with 117. Can't complain about that either. Those two ruck picks I'm pretty happy with. I don't think I'm going to even touch them for a while anyway. They're pretty solid. They both score pretty. They both have the tendency to score pretty big. Martin does have the occasional quietish game, but I can't really complain about 154 there. So we move on. Heaney, pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with Heaney. Billings, he's another worry too. He averages 88, but he's only had really one big score. The other two scores have been pretty poor. So he is on notice along with McGovern to as premiums that could be facing the chopping block. My 1 point of difference that I have stuck with Jack Martin is still racking it up. 99 for a forward is still pretty solid, and he's averaging 97. So he's not tearing the house down, but he's still doing a very good job, a solid job. If he scores 99s for the rest of the season, I'm pretty happy with that. Petrarca had a really good game, his best game of the season, 106. Good to see. Sicily was suspended, so he didn't play this week. He's going to play this week, which is good to see. Fritsch with 56, pretty happy with that for a rookie. Ryan was the disappointing one. Now, he's the disappointing one that he had a really, really good game, and he went down with injury pretty late on in the game. So he's the one that I was thinking about trading as well. But I figured because he's not going to be playing for 10 weeks or so, he's probably not going to be changing in price or anything. He's going to be staying at 194. So I didn't feel panicked to trade him in this week. Who I might trade him in next week, depending on I think there's a couple of forward rookies. I think Henry is one for Geelong that he plays again this week, and Higgins is another one that plays for Richmond. He plays again this week as well. So there's a couple that I might look to trade Ryan, downgrade Ryan to, so then I've got a bit of salary and I can upgrade Fox to get another premium midfielder into my midfield. So a lot of choices there, and Garlett with 64 was fine. It's his best game for the season, and if he does that for the rest until he sort of caps out, I'm pretty happy with that. A really good round. As I said, probably people on notice, McGovern and Billings, probably the two premiums I'm sort of slightly worried about. And yeah, probably downgrade targets Ryan because he's injured. Robbie Fox, who's not going to be getting a game probably for a while for Sydney. He was another one that's probably getting downgraded. Possible downgrade targets. And then to upgrade, I'm not actually sure. Next week, I'll go through a couple of upgrade targets and talk you through my thinking. As far as captaincy goes this week, I might go the vice captain loophole. So looking at my scores here, Crows and Collingwood play Friday night. There's not really anyone there that I'm really that interested in. Who have I got? Mitchell's always... Mitchell, I can probably stick the captaincy on probably fine. As far as vice captain goes, I could probably just put it on Dusty. I'd be pretty happy with that. And then once I've got that, I can obviously go the emergency. Oh, sorry. We go in. Then we can just substitute like that, as always. Lanjo can go on the field. Gawn can go on the bench. And then if I'm happy... If I'm not happy with Dusty's score, I can obviously... Don't have to worry about it, but if I am happy with Dusty's score, we can move the captaincy onto Alanjo. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't reckon Dusty's going to be quiet 2 games in a row. I reckon he'll have an absolutely gangbusters week this week, and I reckon he could go very big. Whereas Hawthorn have the Demons, who have a pretty solid midfield and a lot of contested ball, absolute behemoths in the middle. So Mitchell might find it a little bit hard going. Not to say he'll probably still score 110, 120, but I don't reckon he'll go 150 big like he did last week. Anyway, guys, that's my team heading into the new round. Do let me know in the comments below how your team's going, or if there are any trades you think I should be making next round, or any rookies I should be looking at to downgrade onto next round. Do let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.